Hey, I hope you're doing well. Today, let's have a chat about saving money versus making more money. Now, I'm seeing this argument increasingly more, whereby people are feeling like they need to pick one side or another, and in fact, they are. They're either choosing to hone in on saving money or making more money. Now, I don't know why anyone is picking sides in this argument, and I don't think anyone should. I think the right answer and the best way to go forward is to take aspects of both. Okay, now let's talk a little bit more about that and why I'm saying that. So, saving money. Okay, there's loads and loads and loads of money saving tips out there and ways to cut costs. I don't know, use hot water to stretch a sauce, or visit this bargain store, or call up your Wi-Fi company, pretend you're leaving, and you might get a better rate. Things like that. Now, I'm all for cutting costs and things like that, and not spending more than you need to. Like if I see, if I see, like, I don't know, a sauce that I enjoy, like let's call it barbecue sauce, and I see one that's the same, but it's pricier, and I think it tastes the same, like I'm going to go for the cheaper one. Okay, it just makes sense to me. But people are really honing in on this saving money thing. Now, it's good, but the issue is you can fall into the trap of just saving money, okay? And you solely rely on one income stream. You solely rely on a wage, and you live from paycheck to paycheck, and you think that's okay because you know how to save a bit of money. And that's what keeps you going month to month to month to month, doing a job that just isn't paying you enough. Now, you might like the job, but at the end of the day, if it's not paying you enough, is it really all that feasible? Like, you have to live your life, and you don't want to be caged by a small wage. And so by focusing on just saving money, that's the sort of trap that you can fall into, just sort of like grinning and bearing it and thinking that's it. That's what you've got to do. That's all you've got to do. Now, with the rising cost of living, it's becoming even more stressful. Now, the answer to that sort of thing by other people is make more money. If you don't like what you're doing, if you don't like the pay, find a better job. But that's not really the way to go, not all the time. And for anyone that has been job hunting, you can probably relate to me when I say it is hard. People say that like it's an easy thing, but it really isn't. Okay, I've been job hunting a few times in my life, and it's never easy. You apply to lots and lots and lots of things, and a lot of the time you don't even hear back, which is just sad. I think the job hunting space is just so backwards. There's companies that want you to have this magic experience that you can't get because you can't get that job in the first place, because they want you to have this magic experience. And I don't know where they'd expect you to get some of this stuff. Like, some of the things that they ask for as bare minimum requirements are absolutely nuts. Like, I've seen where they've asked for like this advanced experience in like robotics and things like that for jobs where I don't even know why they need to ask for things like that. I've seen all manner of crazy requirements from employers. There's other companies that want you to jump through a million one hoops, and basically like retake your school exams just to see if you're a good fit. And then they say no anyway. Or there's jobs where they want you to do like so many things, so many tiresome, stressful things, and take on a billion tasks for a wage that isn't really that much better at all. Now, I say a long while ago, we're going back. We're going back a few years. Now, I used to be a chef once upon a time. Now, I didn't like it whatsoever because it's so stressful in those kitchens. The demands for things left, right, and centre, it's just constant. The conditions are never that great, unless, of course, you are working in a relatively classy kitchen. So it's just pure stress from the moment you're there to the point when you clock off, and a lot of the time you end up clocking off late. That's what I did anyway, and I wasn't being paid very much for it, and it seemed like a lot for hardly any reward. So I was basically a cog in someone else's business, and that was basically it. And I didn't like it whatsoever. And there's lots of jobs that are like that. So yes, it is possible to get a better job. I'm not ruling that out. I don't think anyone is, but it's not easy. It's not straightforward. I feel like it's gotten harder. So how do we actually go about making more money? Because that would be great. The answer isn't solely saving. The answer is to also make more money, so you can do the things you want to do and you don't have to live from paycheck to paycheck like that and be in this cage. We want to make more money, but how exactly do we make more money if we can't get that better job? The answer is we just need to make our own way, okay? Instead of relying on someone to come and save us and you know, having a handout from somebody, we have to make our own way, okay? So how do we do this? This is where e-commerce comes in perfectly, okay? And in particular, I'm talking about selling on Amazon, eBay, all of these online marketplaces. People want things. Everyone wants stuff. And a lot of what people want is actually online. It's on these platforms that I've mentioned, okay? So by saving money, you can set that saved money aside and you can build it up for as long as you like, just as long as you are putting some stuff aside for it, and you can use that as your initial entry point fund into the world of e-commerce. Now, the reason why I'd recommend using Amazon or eBay or one of these kinds of platforms as an entry level point into the world of e-commerce is because anyone can do it, okay? You don't need to have this magic experience that a load of companies are asking for. It's not like rocket science. It's doable by anyone and everyone, okay? I've talked to loads of sellers that have come from all different walks of life, all different upbringings, different experiences, and they get into this world and they soar. They do so well, okay? And you can do that as well. Selling on Amazon, selling on eBay, that's great because those companies already do all of the advertising for you. Everyone knows what they're all about. Loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of people use these sites day in, day out. Amazon is the #1 online marketplace in the world. Okay, it has been for the longest time. Everyone knows what it is. Loads of people use it every single day. They do all the advertising for you. So it's a lot easier than throwing your money at the wall into a bunch of different online ventures and seeing what sticks and trying to get your own thing to take off from the ground. I'm not saying that it's impossible, but it's a lot easier to firstly try something like that, like selling on Amazon, because not only can that be a great entry level thing and then you can move on from that and do what you want once you've built up your funds, you've got that experience and so forth, you can move on. But with Amazon, eBay, things like that, not only is it a beginner level thing, but you can take it to such an advanced level and make a living off of it. There's so many people that have gone from part-time selling just as a side hustle for a bit of extra money, and they've turned that into a full-time thing because they like it so much. They know that through that they can make more than the wage they were getting prior, and they make that switch. Now, it's not a quick thing. It's not a do it in a couple of weeks and you'll be fine. That's it. Life changed. It doesn't work like that. It does take work, it takes consistency, it takes continual investment, but you can get there. And this is where saving money and making more money meet. The money you save helps fund your way of making more money, and then as you build up and build up and build up, you aren't afraid to spend. You aren't living in that fear month to month of just having this one income stream and relying on just that one because you've got two. And in fact, from that point onwards, once you've gotten into the e-commerce world and you learn more about it, like, why not have multiple income streams? Because that's very, very possible. In fact, just in the Amazon space alone, there's loads of things you can be doing. You can be Amazon selling, you can do affiliate marketing. Down the line, if you build up the experience and you feel that you do have valuable knowledge that you can pass on, you can start social media. From that point, you might want to build and construct a course or some form of one-to-one coaching and mentoring. Like, there's loads of things in that one space alone. So think of everything else you can do online once you build up that bit more. So that's what I mean. Like, that's just the start, and it's a lot easier to grow and advance there than it would be with a lot of other things in life. Okay. Now, this whole saving money thing, as well as obviously helping contribute towards your route of making more money, I think from having a perfect combo of those things and having done that save money thing, you know the value of money. I think you would have the best understanding of money, and especially when you combine that with making your own money, like completely from A through to Z by selling online. You're not going to like waste it and throw it up against the wall. You are going to make sensible, solid investments. You will be in full control of your money, of your funds. You're going to divert it accordingly, and you also won't have that fear of spending it as and when you need to spend it, because you have the capabilities of doing that now. So I don't think in this argument it needs to be one side or another. I think the best place to be is somewhere in the middle, and I hope that this little ramble has been helpful for you, and hopefully helps you with looking into all this sort of stuff, and knowing that there is a way to do this, a way to start changing your life. And it doesn't have to be where you become a full-time Amazon seller. It can be whatever it is that you want it to be. Okay, people leave it as a side hustle because that's what's comfortable for them, just for extra money to cover fun stuff at the weekends, and that is fine. But other people take it a bit further. It's up to you what it is that you want to do with it. But I wanted to let you know that there is a way to do this, okay? There is a way to conquer, like literally conquer, this fear that is presented to us by this rising cost of living, which is just nuts. So if this has given you inspiration to get into something e-commerce wise, it doesn't even have to be Amazon. Like, let me know what it is that you've gotten into, what it is that you're starting to look into, what it is that you want to do, and I'll be super, super happy for you. I just want to see people do well. And yeah, hopefully this chat's been refreshing, a bit different, and yeah, been helpful. Thank you very much for watching.